Jane.
And we're SpielMill.
And this is, what is this called? It's called Tabletop Tag.
Yes.
So this was something we were tagged. This is kind of an old tag, I guess. But we were tagged by Board Game Beans to do this video.
Fika time.
Their Fika time. They do a Fika time video, which is kind of them just talking.
Yeah. And they did a whole list of questions and tagged us in it. And with travel and some plague and some other things, we are just getting around to it.
We haven't really pre-screened the questions. No, so we watched their video a while ago.
This will be interesting.
And then we got sick. So we're just now recording again. So this will be very interesting.
All right. Well, let's kick it off.
All right. So the first thing is name, age, and location. My name's Jane. I'm 22 years old. And what? And well, we're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the United States. But I'm actually 53.
Listen, I'm older than you. So my name's Jen. I'm also in Pittsburgh. I'm a Virgo, and I am 56, I think. Am I still 56?
I didn't say my sign.
I know. Okay, well, that's us, and we're SpielMill, and let's get started with the questions.
Right.
So, favorite childhood board game?
All right, well, for me, this is either the Game of Life, which for some reason I was obsessed with, and or Risk, which I did play later in childhood, like a little bit older. But
I was also obsessed with the Game of Life. That would most likely be my answer. I also loved Boggle, which it isn't quite like a traditional board game, but I think it really fits within
counts.
Like the word games now. So I loved Life. Oh my gosh, that was definitely my favorite game, but I also really loved Boggle. So
I never really played Boggle as a kid.
I used to play with my mom. She was good.
I played it as an adult. So yeah. So.
All right. When did you really get into the board game hobby?
Well, for me, I'll say me first because I got into it first.
Yeah.
That'd be like the mid-2000s, like 2005, 6, 7. I was playing like Tiger Stranger Freight. I didn't have a gaming group, but I loved games, and I would play like Tiger Stranger Freighties online on Board Game Geek. And even before that, I was sort of collecting board games, but I barely knew what they were.
Right.
And so I would buy weird games and like, you know, they would be terrible, but and try to force my friends and family to play them with me.
I mean, it's not that different from now, except the games are better.
But I think probably my first foray deep into it actually was a little bit earlier with Lord of the Rings Cooperative. And I would play it solo. I lived out in the woods at the time, so there wasn't even a lot of people around, and I would sit around and play Lord of the Rings. Commander Kinezia's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Well, you got me into board games. We started dating in 2013, and I mean, you tried with some gateway games, and I was unimpressed. And then we played Agricola, whatever it's called, and I was like, medieval farming, tell me more. And that began my obsession. And then I discovered other games. Eldritch Horror was the first game I bought for myself, and I soloed that. Right. So obviously it was like the really heavy, crunchy games. And it wasn't until later when I was like a full-on board gamer that I started to appreciate some of the later ones, like Ticket to Ride. I did not like Ticket to Ride the first time we played it. So.
We love it now, though.
Yeah, we do.
We have all the maps and, you know.
Yeah. So probably 2014, because I think we've been dating for a while when you broke out Agricola out of desperation, because I was like, I'm going to play that other game. All right. First game you purchased. Well, I just mentioned that. I'll go first because I just said Eldritch Horror was the first game I bought, and we do still own it.
We do, and we love it. I don't know if I know the answer to this for me, because it would have been so long ago, and I just don't remember.
Well, I mean, technically, I bought like Clue and Life and things like that,
but I'm not counting. Does that count?
No, I don't count those.
I don't know. And I bought like in the 90s, I bought a game called Wadget, which was terrible. But I don't remember. I don't think that was the first game I bought. I bought the Jumanji board game, which was terrible.
I did actually buy the Lord of the Rings game, but I bought it for my son.
Oh, yeah.
More than myself, so.
Yeah, I bought the Lord of the Rings game. That was around 1999, 2000, I guess. And I was in the rural mall, and it was in the bookstore. And I was just kind of like, ooh, and I was just, oh, it was so good. It was for that era. That was like probably my real gateway game. I knew I loved board games, but I didn't find the board games that I loved until then.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It totally makes sense.
So, yeah.
All
right, what's next up here?
Any other hobbies other than board games?
Yes. Music is a hobby for me. I mean, I was in a couple bands at different times, but I DJ'd, and we have a large record collection. We have over 1,000 records. So we have a huge board game collection, but we also have a large record collection.
That is true. Yeah.
So that's a big thing. And what else? For you, would be birds.
Well, and baking, cooking.
Yeah.
I love to cook. I read cookbooks for fun.
I used to when I was healthy.
Yeah. I love cooking. That's
true.
A hobby for me. That and birds. We had other hobbies, but when you got sick, we had to really kind of focus down.
Disc golf for me. I was a big disc golfer. I played, I played in tournaments, but I wasn't very good. But
you played a lot, yeah. And you got me into that, so we played that together. But really, right now, I'd say that it's music, board games, birds, which you also enjoy.
Yeah, but not like you do. Well, you're next level, babe.
It's true. Yeah, and cooking.
Yeah.
And I have ADHD, so I've had many hobbies over my lifetime. But I think cooking in one form or another, like I went through a canning phase and a pickling phase, but cooking, creating things out of food has always been one.
Absolutely. All right, your breakthrough game. Well, I guess I just talked about Lord of the Rings, I think, was a breakthrough game for me.
Yep, and Agricola for me, which I already talked about.
So
yeah, again, it was that heavy, crunchy mechanisms that got me.
A theme that always draws you in. For me, that's nature. I love nature. I love forests. I love wild animals. I love wildlife. Flora and fauna, really, although I'm not as good with identification of flora and stuff, but I love it. I love ecosystems. I love just the whole interaction of things.
Yeah, we do love ecosystems.
So I love things that replicate that, and a wingspan with birds, but like I don't know. I just love games that pull you into the redwood. That's one of the reasons I love Redwood. It's in top 100 and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think that's probably mine too. We've dabbled in food games because there's been a few that I really enjoy, but I don't think that what I love about food transfers over to board games
so far.
But nature always and realistic nature, not like cute fluffy cartoony animals.
Yeah.
Like I like it to be really more of an ecosystem game, like Forest Shuffle, Wingspan, those types of games.
Exactly.
Are really kind of hit the sweet spot for both of us.
Yeah. And I mean, look, I love a fantasy theme as well. I like, obviously
fantasy.
Really appeals to me. So there's other themes that really I indulge in, but I don't know. It's hard. Yeah. I kind of love a good commerce, European historical commerce. Oh, yeah. That's kind of really appealing to me too. So
yeah, historic games.
Historic
games that aren't war games.
Yeah. And I love to embellish a theme as well. So
yeah. Alcohol. We also really like alcohol as a theme. Anytime a game pops up that's about beer or wine or spirits, we're like, ooh, what's that?
Yep. All right, favorite mechanisms. This is a tough one. Just because I feel like I've evolved on this.
Yeah, I know. I was actually just kind of thinking.
It's a little easier for me to list off some of the ones I don't like. I do not like negotiation and trading. I do not like take that.
Area control.
I do not like area control that much. In certain limited instances, I'm okay with it.
Area majority is okay, but yeah.
I do really like worker placement quite a bit.
Same.
Especially when it's creative and has especially if it has like in the Gallerist has what do you call it?
The bump mechanism.
The bump mechanism or something similar where you get something in case you get bumped so you're not just.
Impression had something similar too, where worker placement where like just straight up worker placement used to be my favorite, but now it's really evolved, and somebody that takes that basic idea and then does something extra clever with it, where there's a whole other layer of strategy and thinking, like that is definitely a sweet spot.
I also love tile placement. I love the tactile nature of it. It's very fulfilling for me, and I like card drafting.
Yep,
card drafting can be very fun.
This is why we're married, because same. I love tile laying where you're making a pattern.
Pattern
where it
building.
matters, where it matters what you place where. Like Carcassonne is the ultimate example of that, I think. And then card drafting. I really love card drafting as well.
Yeah, and I like good table presence, I will say. So that's not a mechanism, but it's sort of something I like.
Yeah. So. I like deck building too. But it's not a sure bet. It has to be done well for me.
I do like deck building, like you said, same thing. Yeah. All right, so a mechanism you don't like or that you aren't good at. So we did sort of talk on this, but I will say part of why I don't like trading negotiation is I'm not good at it. And part of it is because I don't want to one-up the other players. And when you trade and negotiate, you ideally are trying to get the best deal for yourself. And I'm terrible at negotiation in real life because it's not something I aspire for. I want everyone to be happy.
Yeah. And I think that's the same. Like most of the mechanisms I don't like are ones where it's not about your game, it's about hurting somebody else. Like Stefan Fell's obsession with putting a take that mechanism in every game ruins his games for me. Like we take that out as much as possible.
Stefan Fell too.
We do. We love his games. They're some of my favorite games, but we always try to get around that take that mechanism.
Like Luna. Luna is a fantastic game, but it has a random take that-y kind of thing in it.
Yeah.
It's just like, why?
Yeah. Anything where you've got to hurt the other player. And that's also why I don't like the area control, where you end up like bumping somebody out of an area. Like all the work they put into building that up, and you go in and you're like, destroy them. Yeah. I don't like having my forces destroyed, and I don't like doing it to somebody else.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Next up, the question is, what is the newest game in your collection and have you played it? Game or games? Now, this is tough to answer, but I think the most recent one that's sitting downstairs is Cretaceous Rails.
No.
We have one more recent?
We do, because Mother's Day we gave each other presents, and that was after Cretaceous Rails. So,
well, Cretaceous Rails is sitting there, so that is a new game, but we have not played it yet. But I'm really excited for it because friend Ann designed it. But...
and you got me 2 smaller games. I can't remember the names of which. They were new to me.
They were newish to me too. One was a word game though, and I can't remember what it was called.
We'll just put it down.
And you got me some.
I got you Edo. I know I got you that.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what else I got.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I'd know it if I saw it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got we have a large collection. We have a lot of games, and the one drawback to a large collection is, of course, you don't get to play the games, all the games, as much as you want to play them, or even at all sometimes.
We're working on that, but yeah.
Yeah, but we're working on that. And we're trying to thin out some games. I think we have Petrichor we're trying to move out the door right now. But we got rid of it. So we are, progressing on that front. But, it's just, we love games. Yeah. We like collecting. And I like having a large shelf of shame, although ours is a little larger than I like. But I like having a large shelf of shame because I like having games that I can be excited about playing in the future, even though I'm not playing them right now.
Yep, that's very true. Yeah. All right.
So,
what's your favorite player count?
Well, I guess it's 2.
Yeah, it's 2.
But that's sort of because we play 2.
Well, because we don't have a choice a lot of times. Yeah. And so, for us, a game that plays well at 2, a game that we can just get on the table with us and really enjoy, is a winner.
Yep.
I don't mind playing with, although I will say sometimes when there's a lot of people at the game table, the downtime between turns can be really long, and my ADHD will go crazy and I get bored and distracted. So the nice thing about 2 players is it's quick. Your turn comes up.
It is, but I do like the socializing nature of games with more people.
Yeah, for sure.
So I do like that.
But that for me is like a party game territory. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to play Terraforming Mars with 4 people.
I kind of do, but I like, you know, but I like, I can hyper focus too. So,
yeah.
What is your board game pet peeve?
Now, is it board game player pet peeve or board game?
I think anything. It doesn't say more specifically. So, geez, one of mine is simply this obsession with making games shorter arbitrarily, like where you have an arbitrary end game mechanism that forces a game to be shorter than it could be, and I actually prefer it to be longer. It's kind of like a good movie. I want the movie to last. I want the game to last. I don't want it to end earlier. Yep. And so sometimes there's an obsession with games can't be too long. Games can't be too long. But I love when they're a bit longer.
Yep.
Assuming I like them, because I want my enjoyable experience to last longer.
When they say this is a trimmed down version of, you know, whatever game, I'm like, nope, not for us. Absolutely not. Pass. Yeah. We'll go get the first game that it's a trimmed down version of.
I almost never want the dual games either. And here's why I don't like the dual games, because they're usually more aggressive player on player. And that's what they think is like, they're like, we're going to add player interaction in 2 players, but it's usually negative player interaction. And I want positive player interaction.
Yeah, I one of my pet peeves is this obsession with making sure there's player interaction and having it have to be negative. Yeah. I really dislike that. I don't like it. I don't want that to be the thing. Like, I just want to build my game. I want to play the best game I can play. You play the best game you can play, and we can see who comes out on top. Interaction, maybe competition for spots or resources, that's okay. Positive player interaction is fine. But this, like, where you come in and you torpedo my strategy, or I have to do that to you, I hate that.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate it.
I like things like Wingspan has some good things in it, like you know, all players get a card, or, you know, stuff like that, where it's beneficial to you, but it's beneficial to other players, and that's one of the trade-offs you have to think about. But I like those mechanisms.
And we often house rule if we can. So in Wingspan, there's like steal a resource from another player. We take it from the supply.
There is? I don't even remember that being a thing.
Yeah, there is. Okay. And we don't do that.
I just ignore it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I also, just in terms of like game playing, I also don't like it when somebody agrees to play a game and then they don't want to play the game and they chit chat or, you know, distract from the game.
Or they quit.
Yeah,
like, just finish the game, then quit. Yeah, then be like, I don't want to play again, or, you know, follow through.
Yeah,
if you agree to play it, you know.
I don't like that. And we have some friends that are probably like that, and that's fine. We just know what games they like and we'll play with them. And that's partially also on that's both on the game organizers and the other game players, is knowing like what somebody has a tolerance for. And I'm not going to make my friend that wants to be a light, you know, that likes light games, I'm not going to force them to sit down and play like a super heavy game, because nobody's having fun.
I've tried that.
Yeah, nobody's having fun.
It never works. Yeah. So it's not worth it. What player color do you use most often? This is easy for us.
Pink.
Green.
Done.
All right. Read the rule book or watch how play the video. Both.
I just have her teach me.
But I do both. What I do is I'll read the rule book, then I'll watch a how to play video, and if I don't get it at that point, I will watch a playthrough. And I used to be able to learn just from the rule book, but because of my illness, I have some brain fog, and so the videos are very, very helpful, and I really love that there's so many how to play videos on YouTube and stuff on board games, and I appreciate the people who put those together. I wish I would do them if I was healthier. I would probably be doing more of those. Yeah,
all my early games I learned, with like 1 or 2 exceptions, by you teaching me. And I think it works better for me too. I need to be looking at the board and listening to somebody tell me how to do it, so I can see the pieces. I have some audio auditory processing issues. And if I'm just watching a video and I'm not looking at the board, in particular my board, even a board on TV, doesn't work for me. And I struggle reading rules. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like you to teach me. I'm very, very particular. All right, what's next?
Favorite snack to eat while playing board games? Well, for me, I actually think that's pizza. I know that seems a little strange maybe, but I like pizza.
All right.
I think it's an easy, edible food that doesn't take up a lot of space on the table, and is not too messy.
I don't think I have a favorite snack. I don't like to eat while playing board games. If I realize during a board game I'm starving, I like to just grab something quick that I can get into my stomach so I'm not hungry anymore.
What do you usually grab then? A power bar or something?
I grab those like shakes. Those
Shakes,
like
yeah,
nutritious
okay.
shakes, or something like that. I don't need to eat and play at the same time.
Right.
It just doesn't work for me.
Have you ever been to a board game convention?
One.
Yep, we went to Origins.
2019.
2019, thank you. I was sick. Early in my sickness, I was at that point becoming moderate to severe. And
We almost didn't make it.
we almost didn't make it, and we had to spend some extra time in the hotel room and stuff like that. I think with my electric wheelchair, I theoretically could do a board game convention now. The catch is that I'm very susceptible to illness, and I have to avoid it.
Yeah, we'd have to be wearing masks.
We'd have to mask the whole time and stuff like that. But we really want to do a cruise. I know that's a dream of yours.
Oh my God, it is. It is because like I love to travel, but the traveling itself is a nightmare. Imagine getting on a boat, playing board games, and suddenly you're in Jamaica or something. Right. Like that is that's the dream.
It's a catch. I have to renew my passport, and my passport doesn't match my name and gender. So
in 4 years we'll see.
Right now I can't do that.
Yeah. Because
of current administration. So.
Yeah. But maybe PAX Unplugged 1 year.
Yeah. So yeah, I would love to do a board game convention again. That was fun. When we have money again too, because we spent a lot of money there, and I think it's hard not to.
Yeah.
An unreleased game you are most looking forward to. Unreleased.
I have no idea. I can't remember what's on our upcoming list. I know there's a few that were on our top 10 most anticipated that have not come out yet.
Where are there? Because all the ones I'm thinking of we have now, like Iridia and stuff like that. I think Pampero we have that's published. We just backed on Kickstarter Rewild South America. That looks really cool.
Really good, yeah.
Also, we're waiting on the latest Vital Lacerda Speakeasy. I'm very excited for that one.
I'm very excited. That would be it for me. I mean, we have so many great games here and so many games that we haven't played yet that at this point I've kind of stopped.
We're not stressed about the ones that haven't been published yet. I mean, we backed them on Kickstarter and stuff, although we slowed down with the tariff situation.
Yeah.
We're still backing a little bit, although we're backing more print and plays than anything else. So.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about the board game hobby?
I like the social nature of board games, but also I love to use my brain for puzzles.
That's it.
I like to use my brain not for work.
Yep.
Now, I don't work anymore because I'm disabled. So for me, I love to save my brain to play board games rather than on stupid things.
Yep.
And because I have brain fog, so I have a limited amount of brain power these days, but it's fun to use it for board games. I
have ADHD, which I did not know when we first started playing board games. And board games are one of the only things and first things that absolutely completely calmed my crazy brain. There's especially a good chunky one. There's so much going on. There's so many things to think about. You're planning your next turn. You're counting your resources. You're looking at cards. You're looking at what somebody else is doing. Like my brain is an awful place to be. I don't like it. And board games make me happy. It is like the happiest I can be is playing a board game. I know, thank God. It's my happy place. It is, it gives me something to do with my brain. And like you said, I like to think. I like to use my brain. I love puzzles. I love to be engaging all 27 conversations in my brain at once. And board games do that. And it's my happy place.
Yeah.
Plus, they are so thematic. They're so beautiful, right? We bling out our board games, so they're visually appealing.
Yeah.
A lot of times we get the upgraded, so we get the metal money, that like chunky tactileness. Like it's a full sensory experience, except for taste, which I just mentioned. You know, I don't eat during board games, but other than that, it's like everything. You got everything going. I love them. I love them so much.
All right, good answer. All right. Open and punch a game right away when you get it, or wait until you play it for the first time. Now, I have a preference, and there's what we actually do. So I actually love to open it when I first get it and punch it and all that. We used to do that, but then we got so many games and it just became too much. So now we do it when we play. Yes. But I prefer to do it when we get it. I think it's fun.
It is fun. And I used to like to do it when I got a game, especially before we got married and we lived apart. Sometimes I would sit there and I would like punch a game and organize a game at night because I wanted to play a game, and I didn't necessarily have a solo game, and I wasn't on BGA at the time. But now I kind of like it when we're getting ready to play a game. We'll sit down and we'll punch it, we'll set it up, we'll get really excited about it. You'll take the rules and you'll go learn while I'm working, and then we can play the next day. So it's sort of an extended enjoyment experience of the game.
I mean, I think we changed by necessity because I got so sick that I just couldn't put the effort in. But also our collection got so big, we ran out of room. We had space issues in terms of opening games and stuff. Like we have a better setup now.
Yeah, the old house
was a bit of a mess, and so so we have the system we have, which is we do it when we play it. So,
yep. Right.
Others we would like to see do this tag.
I have a really good answer for this.
Okay, good.
I would like to hear, because I know he won't be on video, but I'd like to hear Robert's answers of Susan, Tea and Games.
Okay.
Right? I'd like Susan to do it, but to give us both of their answers. Since he never gets on video.
Wow, that's a challenge.
I got his name right? I'm so bad with names.
Yeah.
I suddenly had this panic that it was like, Fred.
Fred. No, we're good. So, yeah, that's a good idea. And I think any of you, I don't know who else to tag.
Jimmy doesn't make videos, but
either do a video or post in the comments your answers to these questions. We'll put the full list of questions in the description, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, and thank you to Board Game Beans for suggesting this. And sorry it took
Thanks for tagging us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, remember.
Every day to eat game
is a holiday.
Bye, everyone.